There is a massive energetic calling. This energetic calling is a vibration, it is a frequency that is being sent out into the world. And whether you are aware of it or not, whether you can read energetics or not, it's speaking to you. It is telling you that it is time for you to step into new levels of power. It is time for you to get really serious about what you came here to do. Welcome to day 2 of Transcendence Masterclass. I'm really excited that you guys are back for today, and I have so many things that I am going to be sharing with you, so much information. And I know that I do talk fast, and I know that there's a lot of information here, which is one of the reasons why I record this, not just because I do absolutely want people to be able to watch the replay. Everybody is super busy. There are very few times that if there is a live event, if I have not put it in my calendar ahead of time, I cannot participate, even if it's one of my clients' things and I want to watch what they're doing. And so I totally get that. So not only do I want you to be able to watch the replay if you can't make it live, but these are some of these classes, and every class that I do, you're going to want to watch a couple times because you're going to hear things different. You're going to hear things that you didn't hear before. You're going to have realizations. So if you missed day 1, stay here. I want you to watch this. Okay. Then afterward, I want you to go back and listen to day 1. We talked about a lot of important things inside of there. And it also gives you kind of like the first half. This is the second half of what we're doing. But stay here, stay with me. You're going to freaking love this. I want to remind you to watch the replays, okay? Let's dive into it. I have so many things to share with you guys. So yesterday we spoke about how the world is changing and how leadership is changing and what people are being asked to step into. There is a massive energetic calling. This energetic calling is a vibration, it is a frequency that is being sent out into the world. And whether you are aware of it or not, whether you can read energetics or not, it's speaking to you. It is telling you that it is time for you to step into new levels of power. It is time for you to get really serious about what you came here to do. I cannot express to you how many people, both in my personal life as well as my private clients, the clients that I have that I work very closely with, as well as strangers that have come to me and said, because they know what I do, they come to me and said, I have this burning desire inside of myself to do something powerful. I have this need to be able to contribute to the world in a different way. I have this fear that I'm going to get to the end of my life, and if I don't achieve this thing, I'm going to feel like my life was not fulfilled. They're not saying that they need an extravagant amount of money, that they need all these true desires. They're saying their soul is speaking to them. And the soul is communicating that the soul knows there is something so profound that they are here to do, yet they're not doing it. They feel like there's more to it. They're confused at how to do it. They're confused at when to start, all these things. This is because the universe is speaking to you. It's because the universe is saying it is time for those that are stepping forward to truly step forward and lead. The problem is that the human's not recognizing what that message is. So if you've been feeling this is where you need to be. Because as you're feeling this call, this is telling you that you are a leader, that you are somebody who's here to make a global change, that there's something truly powerful and truly profound about your existence here on Earth. There's something very special about it. And I know a lot of people who come to me, they're like, I've always known that I'm supposed to do something important and I'm really special. And absolutely, I 100% agree with that. We talked about what the leaders need to embody. We talked about the true path that most people are navigating through in this life, whether they're consciously aware of it or consciously deciding it or not. There is a path that people are walking in this life, and that path is super important. But today I'm going to go into details and share with you about what sets certain people apart in that leadership realm. What calls people forward, what characteristics you need to hold, what things you need to achieve. Because if every single person is psychic, you might be saying to me, Well, if we're all psychic, what makes somebody more special, more powerful, more impactful, more have this magnetism in the leadership realm than others? And I'm going to show you exactly what that is today. Because I have been shown that the most powerful leaders of the future, and I'm not going to say that every single leader in the future is psychic, but I will tell you, every single leader in the future is leaning towards psychic. I mean, eventually, maybe not in my lifetime, but I guarantee in future lifetimes, every single leader will 100% need to be psychic. And many of the leaders that are going to step forward and that are going to be respected and followed and admired and be given this respect because of what they do, the respect that they came into this life to hold is because of their psychic abilities. But again, and I talk to a person multiple times a week who constantly says to me, everybody is psychic. We know that. But there's differences in psychics and there's differences in how you hold this energy and how you lead with this energy. And they are 100% right. Just like there are very unique aspects within people as leaders. When you're leaning into this psychic energy, when you're activating this psychic ability, pretty soon, I know now, and maybe not in the industry or the community that you navigate through, and in one part of my life, psychic is not very well, it's not like everybody's psychic. I'm one of the only psychics in one area of my life, okay? But in many other areas of my life, including the work that I do every day, lots of people are psychic. I see lots of people communicating psychic things, sharing insights. They're, talking about spirituality, but for the majority of the world, it's not an open and public conversation for a lot of people. It's also not necessarily accepted the way that I would love to see it. As time moves on, it's going to be more and more accepted. It's going to be more and more available to people. It's going to be more and more like a common everyday thing. People are going to be like, oh, you're psychic. Of course you're psychic. Everybody's psychic. So what is going to be special about it is the way in which you hold your energetics and the characteristics that you embody as a psychic leader. And I'm going to show you what those are. Because in order to be able to use your psychic gifts in that leadership realm, in that global impactor realm, to be that impactful person, to create a shift in humanity, there's certain things that you have to embody, and there's certain things that all master psychics and all advanced level, leadership level psychics hold. And there's some very specific characteristics. Okay, so I'm going to dive into what those are. We talked yesterday about the characteristics and the signature and the energetics of a leader. Now we're going to start blending in what characteristics set you apart as a psychic leader. Okay. For one is your level of confidence. There have been a lot of people that I've interacted with, even over the course of the last 2 weeks, never mind the last 10 years. Their biggest struggle is their confidence. I've had women step forward and a couple men, women more primarily, who have stepped forward and said, I am the most confident person. I excel at everything I do. And I was one of these women, freaking confident in every area of my life. From sports to academics, I was the top of everything I did. I had it all. I was the best of the best at everything. I did something, I was the best at it, or I didn't do it. I didn't want to. That's what my confidence was. But then when I started activating my psychic abilities, I was like, oops, where'd that confidence go? I see that happen a lot. That you're so confident, you're so good, you are a natural, you are a leader at every area in your life. And then we tap into our psychic abilities, and all of a sudden, we're like hiding that we're psychic. We're not like telling our family. We're not like actively saying it. And when it comes to delivering guidance or messages or, channel downloads, we're like, so I have this message, I have this little thing I want to share with you, and your confidence level, no matter where it's at, starts to lower. And it's different for everybody because everybody's level of confidence is different. But it's the one thing that I see take a hit for a lot of people, no matter how successful they are, how great they are at what they do, is their confidence when they start to open and activate their psychic abilities. The leaders of the future who are embodying their psychic calling here, their soul calling, have to have an astounding level of confidence and not arrogance, not control, confidence, pure, clean confidence in themselves as a leader, in the way they're impacting the world, in their path forward, as well as in all of their soul, psychic, and energetic abilities. It will be a must. If somebody is wavering, if somebody makes a really strong statement, but then is questioned or is asked to perform and they waver even just a little bit, whether it's in what they say or what they do or their energetics, to me, I don't want somebody who's leading me in that energy. If you're leading me, you've got to be the best of the best. So freaking confident. And there are millions upon millions of people who feel the same way. You could be so good at what you do. You could be the one that's supposed to do this purpose in the world. And the thing that will keep you from doing it is your confidence. Now, while we're talking about this, one other thing that's really important to understand, there is this spiritual quote that goes around a lot, and it says, you cannot miss what's meant for you in life. Yes, you can. 100% you can. I do not care if it is part of your blueprint to be here and to be a global community leader in the world. If you do not do what you're supposed to do, you will miss it. Okay? There is a difference between missing what's meant for you and missing what's in alignment for you. However you're showing up in life, whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're taking action on is in alignment for you. So whatever happens in your life is in alignment for you. You align to it. That's why it's there. Okay? It might not be soul alignment, might not be in your blueprint. There might have been a higher version of existence that you could have tapped into. So this confidence can keep you from that 100%. And I see it happen all the time. People who are phenomenal. I've even had, I recently asked for people to share who is the best at what they do in the psychic world, psychic and energy world. I had multiple people reach out to me through DMs to tell me that they're really good at what they do, but they're too afraid to share it. This does not speak to a leader in our world or to me. We have to have that confidence. You have to be able to share it. Confidence is an absolute must and a characteristic of a global leader, especially in the psychic realm. Okay. Number 2 is accuracy. And I feel like this goes without saying, but I want to be very clear on this. There are a lot of psychics out there that channel. And yes, although it's true that every single psychic will channel in their own frequency and they'll channel a specific designation of energetics, they'll channel a certain way. And by I mean this is that if you're struggling with something, let's say you're struggling in your business, there are psychics who will channel on business strategy and what you need to do. There are psychics who will channel on limiting beliefs. There were psychics that will channel on ancestral energy. There's psychics that will channel on really connect with inner child. And you may get 5 different answers as to why you're struggling in your business, and they all could be right. And you could change every single one of them and still not succeed in business because they aren't the core and the root. They're not the true accuracy of exactly what's going on and what needs to shift. They're not that pure truth. This is what leaders in global impactors in the psychic realm absolutely need to be able to produce is the pure truth accuracy. That is so important. Otherwise, you kind of chase your tail. Otherwise, you kind of try this and then this and then this, and they all could resonate with you. Absolutely. We are so multidimensional beings. There are so many things that can impact you. But if we aren't clearing the true one and we're just doing other things, you will spend a lot of time clearing or healing. And I see people get caught in the healing all the time. And you will avoid getting into the very accurate information at the way in which somebody needs to hear it. And if you are not accurate as a psychic, you will lose people's trust. You will absolutely lose a following because of the fact that it is scrutinized to begin with. that people are evaluating your psychic readings, the way in which you understand things, the information that you're giving them, how much it resonates with them. It's just a fact, and they should. They should. Everybody should be doing their due diligence around psychic information or energetic reading. So as a global impactor, as a world leader, as a leader in any of your industries, as a leader in your life, as a psychic in general, your true focus, absolutely part of it needs to be on your accuracy as a psychic, and the accuracy in being able to interpret the information, not just receive it. Shared a post yesterday on how somebody came to me because they got a reading or their sister got a reading and they said mother, the card was mother, they heard mother or something like that. I think they were using cards if I remember correctly. And they were like, oh, you have a strong connection with your mom. And this woman interpreted it as they have a beautiful relationship, that the medium was saying that you have a beautiful relationship with your mom. No, the strong connection means they needed to do healing, that they're embodying their mother's energy and it's driving them nuts because they can't stand their mother at this point. And this is what's affecting them and moving forward. Those are very different energy readings. The information came in the same way, mother, strong connection. But being able to interpret that energy and exactly what the person needs to know and what they need to do in order to move forward in their life is crucial. Otherwise, you will have people chasing their tail and just going round and round in a circle and never actually moving forward. Accuracy is so important. Number 3, it is very important for psychics to be able to tap into universal truths. Universal truth. There is a universal truth that exists. And although we all come into this life coded with our own truths, there is absolutely a divine universal truth and a universal unfolding. And that is very important for psychics to lean into. If they're not, what's happening is their own human is getting in the way, their own experiences, their own inner coding. And on one level, that's amazing. That's amazing. You were born that way for a reason. And if you channel through your coding, if you channel through your experiences, you are absolutely going to connect with people who are also doing that, and you absolutely can help them. But if you want to be a global leader, if you want to impact the world in a very profound, highest good, greatest path, moving people forward through this ascension and this enlightenment process that we are all on, you must be understanding universal truth, and you must not be channeling through your own coding. You must be able to channel through the pure energetics that are always flowing around us and being able to decipher them. So we tap into the universal energy. You will see some people are commenting that the energetics are crazy right now. I don't agree. I don't agree. The universal energy and the energy that's around us right now is super powerful. It's transformative. It's not crazy. Now, everybody's energy and the global energy is crazy. It's crazy. Lots of people are just saying some crazy things about the election, about the future, about life, about whatever. That's not universal truth. That's humans' energetics and their beliefs that they're pushing out to the world. There is a difference. You have to be able to read the difference in the two. Otherwise, you will get caught in the very human energetics that exists within inside the world. We want to be able to rise above that to see the difference, to understand why some people are very overwhelmed by the energetics right now versus what they can do to tap in even deeper. These are the layers and the levels of truth that you have to be able to read as a global leader, because the universal truth, the truth of consciousness, is what's actually propelling the world forward. It is going to clearly give you that path that so many souls are navigating through. That's the one that we want to be leading people down, is that universal truth. You have to be able to tap into that. And the last one is you have to have an unbelievable level of trust as a psychic. And this is the number one thing that every single psychic struggles with, is trust. Every single one. And I have people that are like, oh no, I trust my guides. I trust them explicitly. But then when something happens in the world and it totally disrupts their life, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was. You're not trusting. So this trust isn't just about in your guides or in who you channel or in what you're doing. It's about every facet of life. Because as a psychic, life unfolds a very systematic way, in the way of energetics. Energetics never lies. Energetics always tells the truth. So if you're actually tapped into energetics, the way life is unfolding, sometimes won't make sense to the logic. It won't make sense to the ego. It won't make sense to the human. It will always make sense to the psychic. Always. And as a leader, you want to know and be able to see that the way the world is unfolding and what you can do and what you should be doing and what we don't want to freak out on is absolutely supported by your trust. And that is huge. And I would even dare to say 90% of the population, a huge lesson in life in this lifetime that most people are in a cycle of is trust. It is something that every single person needs to work on. And if you look out over the global community, there's a lot of control. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of deceit because of trust. There's a lot of fear because of a lack of trust. Okay. So that trust has to be there. And it starts with trusting in yourself. Then we expand it to trusting globally, universally, the whole unfolding of the world. There's a lot of layers of trust in there. Okay. So how do you actually attain these 4 things? Because these are the characteristics that the leaders of the future have to hold, the psychic leaders of the future: confidence, accuracy, tapping into universal truth, and an unbelievable amount of trust. Meaning trust like you've never seen before. And you will even be tested in your life. I know when I was walking down the path of trust, anytime I channeled my guts to be like, trust, trust. I got to a point, it was like an 18-month period of time back in like 2014. And I stopped asking in my guts because I was like, you guys, do you not know any word? Are you stuck? Are you skipping? Is there like a scratch in this CD? Because I think we were still listening to CDs back then. I was so annoyed with my guys that I was like, I don't even want to talk to you guys anymore. Because every single thing, I'd be like, yes, trust, I am trusting. And then something would happen in my life and I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to navigate through this. And I wasn't trusting. Trying to control or trying to do that until I literally had to say, I actually don't care what anything happens. I could not care less about anything happening. I just let it all unfold. I didn't care. Didn't care. The only time I cared is if they showed me an action I could take. I had to have this level of detachment to my life. And I'm talking big things happening. And to this day, the universe will still do that. I'll be like, I have to come up with $200,000 in a month. And the universe is like, you got it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How am I going to come up with $200,000 in 2 months? And they're like, you got it. Never mind, like my normal bills. And I'm just like, I got it. It's cool. It's right. Like, what's going to happen if I don't? Nothing. Not going to die. I'll be fine. And if I do, I was meant to die. Okay. This is that level of trust. And you also have to be able to navigate through that path that they're taking you on trust. So ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. It has been such a beautiful experience being able to sit with you and channel with you. Share you guys these insights. If you guys have any questions, please, you can reach out to me personally. I am going to drop the links to all of the programs where you can find the sign up information, these different offers you have. I am going to put them inside of Transcendence Masterclass group. They are also, my system sometimes does not deliver emails. I don't know, your emails block them. My system doesn't it's finicky. So they also are in some of the emails that have been sent to you, but I'm going to put the links inside the group. You can also message me privately and I'll send you guys the links if you can't find them. Okay. Or my team will.